Welcome to Ghana Great and Strong. I am your host. My name is Papa Kwesi Indom. Ghana Great and Strong is a public interests program. We have been coming your way for almost 4 years. This program was started in December 2012, and we started only on radio, then we added television, so now it's on both radio and television, and of course it has always been carried through the internet to many homes, many places across the seas, across the ocean, throughout the world. So Ghana Great and Strong is something that is becoming an institution, and what we do is we say, we discuss, we question, we talk about any and everything that will make our country Ghana great and strong and all of its people prosperous. Ghana Great and Strong is brought to you. It is supported by the Ghana Growth Fund Company Limited, the company that has been building infrastructure, financing infrastructure throughout the country, helping people build companies, Ghanaians build companies, and helping by investing in factories of all types, businesses of all types throughout the length and breadth of the country, Ghana. Tonight, we are going to talk about the Electoral Commission versus Papa Kwesi Indom. Or you might also do it the other way. Papa Kwesi Indom versus the Electoral Commission. Now, in legal terms, what they do is they say the Republic versus the first respondent, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, second respondent, the Electoral Commission, and ex-party, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom. Comes to the same thing. It's Papa Kwesi Indom versus the Electoral Commission. So I'm going to try and give you some information about what has happened. And I want everybody to know and understand, as I have said everywhere, that this case should not have gone to the courts, should not even have gone into the hands of lawyers. This, as I have said all along, is a matter that should have been resolved through the administrative process. As we say in Almina, Sanu Nanu Zeshia Ntutwemba. We could have discussed this. We could have sat down seriously to examine the issue that were raised by the Electoral Commission about my nomination papers, and given a few minutes, we could have resolved it. That's how I wanted it to be resolved. But unfortunately, the other party, the Electoral Commission, stood its grounds and essentially said, well, they are done. If I want redress, if I want anything different to happen, I should go to court. I should go to court. So to court I did. Consulted senior lawyers and their associates and put a case together. Munianum, and meba kahwasam oya asama obe badan asama okro court asama oye the Electoral Commission and onye ame Papa Kwesi Indom yezi kejina tembuafo ho oye court the one come in na yehwe zo odibim na zo odifo yanka wonhwa asam no wonsesi asam no ma nsase papa ɔnyɛ adwuma no dɛm asɛm yi ɛna medze nkyɛ mempɛ dɛ ɔkɔ court ɔsɛn dɛ na menyim dɛ ɔyɛ asɛm a sɛ ame ɛna ɔnye electoral commission fo sɛ yɛtena hɔ a nkyɛ ɔndze dɔnhwer kor ɛna yɛaka asɛm no awie na dza ɔwɔ dɛ ɔba no nkyɛ wɔaba ama nkyɛ dede pii sika pii a yɛdze regu mu ɛhaw pii nkyɛ ne nyinaa nkyɛ wɔamba nanso yɛdam na ɔba no nti ndɛ mepɛ dɛ mekyerɛkyerɛ me kakra mede kyerɛ obiara dɛ ɔba no dan aba adze na ɔbɛyɛ aba asɛm na ɔsii ɛyi ɔyɛ electoral commission ɛna ɔbɛka kyerɛ hɛn ɔka kyerɛ political parties no nyinaa dɛ sɛ pɛ dɛ ɛkɛsi akan ɛka yɛ ɔmampanyin a fa wɔn krataa fɔkɔ na ɔka dɛ ɛbɔtum na akɔ hɔn adwuma mu na ɔyɛ September 8th akɔ na akagye nkrataa a ɛde bɛkɔ fie na aka kyerɛkyerɛ wodin na ne nkeka ho ma ohia no na ɔmahene ndɛ ebien September 29th na September 30th dɛm ndɛ ebien no ɔyɛ Mrs. Charlotte Osei ɔnyɛ adze wɔfrɛ no returning officer ama hɔn a wɔpɛ dɛ wɔkɔ wɔkɛdzi ɔmampanyin wɔkɛsɛ akan wɔkɛyɛ ɔmampanyin ɔno na ɔsɛ dɛm ndɛ ebien no September 29th na September 30th ɔbɛtena hɔ na wɔagyegye hɛn krataa yɛn krataa yi so ame megyina dɛ nkyɛ wɔnyɛ ma ɔmampanyin mpɛn ebien megyina dɛ merekɔ mbrɛhyɛ bɛgɔm mpɛn ebien megyina so dɛ wɔnto abama mu nkɔ menkɛyɛ assembly member nti dɛm krataa na adze no mehu bi da nti yɛdze korɛ ɔyɛ September 30th anɔpa ansa na wɔbɔ nɔnko no wɔdze korɛ me nkurɔfo wɔdze korɛ wɔsɛ wɔdze korɛ no ɔyɛ Mrs. Charlotte Osei ɔgye fi wɔn nsɛm na ɔka kyerɛ wɔn dɛ wɔbɛtene nka nti wɔn nso wɔkorɔ fie wɔkorɔ wɔn adwuma mu nanso na ɔfi bere to bere a na wɔafa telephone na wɔafra adze n'anyina biribiara nyi hɔ a wɔsɛ sɛ biribi wɔ hɔ a yɛbɛfrɛ dama afi nda edu ɔbɛsɛ no kɔ October 10th yɛtena hɔ a yɛate efi mframa mu dɛ electoral commission ɔyɛ chairperson of electoral commission Mrs. Charlotte Osei owura yer Charlotte Osei wakaka dɛ ɛmɛm nkrataa dɛ medze korɛ no ɔgye a ɔnyɛ yie ɔntumi ngye kyerɛkyerɛ dɛ aba no wɔbɔto no ɛme dze ɔyi me fim sɛ dama aba dze ntira wankyerɛ hɛn biribiara wanka hɛn biribiara nti so no yɛdzi n'ekyir na afei yi na ɔyɛ fida afei adwo da meyɛ dɛ me nsa bɛka na mefrɛ no wɔ phone no do ɔsɛ ɔnyɛ office mefrɛ no wɔ phone no do me send the text message afei ɔgye do na ɔka dɛ ɔwɔ adwumadzi bi ase na ɔntumi nkasa sending text message dɛbɛ na ɔbɛba nkran na metumi nyina akasa afei ɔsɛ dɛ nkrataa no a ma wɔkyerɛw do dɛ wɔnka gye medze no yɛkɔ hɔn office a hɛn nsa bɛka nti ɛnyɛ na yɛsoma ma obinom korɔ office hɔ ɔka gye krataa a ɔkyerɛkyerɛ me sɛntir kora wangye me krataa me nomination paper na wowie no so ɛsɛ mepɛ dɛ mehyia no na mepɛ dɛ obiara ate ase ɛnka no ɛna ɛdze wo nkrataa kɔ dɛ me nomination papers nyi ɛdze kɔ a adze no ɛdze mu ɔyɛ anan na ɛdze kɔ krataa no ɛkyerɛkyerɛw no mu ɔyɛ anan sɛ ɛkɔ a na wahwehwɛ mu wɔ wɔnyim hɔ no ara wahwehwɛ mu sɛ biribi ɔkɔkye wɔ mu a ɛna waka akyerɛw na akɔ akɔhwɛ na asesan yɛayɛ bi da wɔdze asena me hen me ye gina wara ya asesa ne ya sana mo ni owura ye shout or say oji anani hinara professor copies anani hinara oji no wi okache hen de yanko ne batin ka che wa me hen bi wan ka hwe san chire hen na ameme bi na afiase konka ji copy nkanka ji kur na me minyim za ayen wo dam krata ni ma minyim so sesa bi o ma ayen di enyim nanso wan fa me hen wan ka hwe san chire hen na iyi ena yese de wan fa bra kwano do embranala electoral commission odo di edun wan wenzido on iyi ana onyi hen akro court na wenzido so ehe ye nti yetse de ebinuma won so wo won krata ekra no ono wo hwehwem no wo hunde enzamo kra na ebien bi wan ye ne ye wo fra won de won bra no won besesa za wo de kra no won besesa. They should come and make changes. And so they called some people to come and make changes to their nomination papers. Someone even tells us that virtually everybody was asked to make some changes, including NDC and NPP. The CPP couldn't even pay its money the time that it was supposed to be paid. When to Wensia, Nanso wajin ichiri, ama wakada wakamubi. And I hear yes, what's he seeing? Where you yim? One fabra quanodo, one fambra and fan yejuma. So our complaint was that there's a law that brought the Electoral Commission into being. There's a law given to the Electoral Commission by Parliament that they should have worked with, which they didn't. And so, based on their refusal for us to talk, I had only one option: to go to court, go the legal way, and get my rights to be restored. Asam na yin, asamano oniyin. Na oye bi no so there na dam papi onyim nkrata ekirewa na mas ma hwe onyim bi so wonde did I don't know obiara nyim de oye voters register no I hope you man there are still problems with the voters register. The Supreme Court has said so. The Electoral Commission has admitted as much. All the political parties know this. So if you put somebody's name or ID or something in the voters database, sometimes what you get is something that is not correct. So if some mistake comes as a result of that, and which because of it, we spent a lot of time making corrections to even the document we sent to them. But indeed, whatever the law says, even this same man that they are talking about, Richard Aseda, the Richard Aseda they are talking about, he spells his name A-S-E-D-A. We have known this man for some time. The Progressive People's Party has given him a party card. The man spells his name in our party card, A-S-E-D-A. And yet, when you put his voter's ID number in the Electoral Commission system, you get A-S-I-D-A. Is it the same person? Is it a different person? Same polling station, ID number, and yet different spelling. He says, I am A-S-E-D-A. The Electoral Commission says he is A-S-I-D-A. So you see, there are problems there. So everybody had a problem. Some people got the chance to correct the mistakes. The Progressive People's Party and Papa Kwesi Ndom didn't get the chance to correct one mistake, one, even though some had multiple mistakes or errors on their nomination papers. So that's the crux of the matter. Asamni hinara oninyin. We will take a break and we'll come back and continue with this discussion of Papa Kwesi Indom versus the Electoral Commission. What is this all about? I am talking about Papa Kwesi Indom versus the Electoral Commission, or as is put in legalese in the court, the Republic versus Mrs. Charlotte Osei as the first respondent, the Electoral Commission of Ghana as the second respondent, ex-party Dr. Papa Kwesi Indom, the applicant. I have done this in 3 parts, or we will do this in 3 parts. I've given you first the general description of what this matter has been all about and how it happened. I'm going to give you, well, I'm not going to go through all of the filings made in court, but there's one that I would like to just take you through just a few minutes, and then I will spend just another few minutes, that's the third part of this, to read to you portions of the judgment that was given, that was read in court by the Justice of the High Court, His Lordship Eric J. Bafor, Esquire. You know, when we filed the suit or the application for judicial review, a response was given by the Electoral Commission through its lawyers. And I want you to understand that we filed this application for judicial review on 14th October 2016, seeking to quash or to be thrown away the decision of the first respondent, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, to disqualify me to contest the December 7th, 2016 presidential election. Now, the response they filed in court, we came back, responded to it, and said that there were several factual inaccuracies and patent lies in that affidavit that they swore, that the Electoral Commission swore. First of all, they admitted themselves, the Electoral Commission, that they did not give me a hearing before they disqualified me. CI 94, the part of the law that was supposed to be followed by the Electoral Commission, it says in there that if the Electoral Commission finds an error or some problem with your nomination form, then it must give you the opportunity to make corrections, to alter the nomination papers before they decide that they will disqualify you. They didn't do it. They admitted it themselves. And they admitted themselves that they were under a legal duty to inform me of any anomaly on the nomination form, and they were required to give me an opportunity to make amendments or any alteration necessary. They themselves admitted this in writing in response to what we filed. So they gave this to the court. And you know, they went through all of this, and essentially then came back and said that I should have come and filed my papers even before September 29th or the 30th, even though they had written to all the political parties that the returning officer, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, would be available on the 29th and the 30th. So then they turned around and asked me, why didn't I submit my nomination papers on the 27th or an earlier date, which would have given everybody the opportunity to fix whatever was the case. Well, let me just say to you that if you want to make a contribution to what is going on here, what I am talking about, please send me a text message. Don't call. I know some people, right from the very beginning of this program, have been calling constantly. Please don't call. Send me a text message, and I'll try and read this program, your message to the people. And let me read some of your text messages, the ones that have come so far. Tony from Achuma Trabom says, Doctor, we thank God for the acceptance of PPP. The EC must try and get used to the electoral laws. Tony, let me say that as I'm sitting here, the Electoral Commission has not accepted my nomination papers. What the court has said is that their decision not to accept my nomination papers or to reject them, that decision, they are saying, has been quashed. So they must now give me the opportunity to come and make the corrections. So we are waiting to go there Monday, Tuesday, whenever, whatever time is made available, to go and make those corrections so that they can accept my nomination papers. And Samuel Mensah from Wenchi says, the High Court ruling in favor of Dr. Ndom is a clear indication of the EC's attitude of not listening to advice. You told her you needed just 5 minutes to resolve the issue, and the court has proven you right. The rule of law is superior to the rule of men. We are very happy and excited with the ruling. God bless you. That's from Samuel Mensah, who brought this from Wenchi. And the Bruno from Koforidua says, indeed, Dr. Pakwesi, what I've seen about him is he never loses hope. He truly has a vision. That's from Bruno from Koforidua. And let's see. Nana Aisa from Elmina says, oh, my incoming president, sorry, you don't worry, God will make you president. He also says, you are welcome, don't mind the EC, Ghanaians will vote for you. I want to say something about this God will make you president matter. You see, many people say, oh, it's God who makes a president. Eko bi ne fia ana eko bi na ahemfie na eko bi na asora wo se oh nyame na osi hin na se nyame oso onsi wo hin a enye president. Mr. Wanaro, let me explain. All of us who consider themselves children of God, whether you are Muslim, Christian, whatever you are, we believe in God. I say I fear God. So I pray to God. And I also know John Dramani Mahama prays to God. Nana Akufo-Addo prays to God. Other candidates, they all pray to God. Parliamentary candidates, assembly candidates, everybody prays to God. Everybody wants God to help him or her. But I want to say, with all due respect to everybody, that indeed, when I go to somebody's house, somebody's office, when I talk to someone, when I go in front of a chief to talk to them, and that person says, let's look to God. It's God who decides who should be president. And now when you also there, Yami no see him. They say, Yami, obey your president, obey your president. Anybody who tells me that is very clear that that person doesn't support me, that they don't want me, they are supporting somebody else. They just want something to say. And some Ghanaians also want to play on the conscience of many of us, many Ghanaians who believe in God, by saying, oh, God will make you the president. Well, we all pray to God, all of us. So how will God make the decision, this one versus that one? I have never seen God in a line anywhere going to go and vote. I'm only human. Maybe I'm so human that I have not heard God whisper in anybody's ears while they are sleeping or when they are going to vote that vote for Papa Kwesi Ndoh, don't vote for John Dramani Mahama. I've not seen that happen. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. I trust in God. I fear Him. I also know that there have been presidents, heads of state in the world, this world, wicked people who have turned out to be wicked men and women. God didn't put them there. God did not put Hitler. Hitler didn't make Hitler head of state or president. Our God is a kind God. He wouldn't do that to humankind. For him, God, to put Hitler there, to go and put all these hundreds of thousands of Jews, some in an oven, to burn them, to kill them. God wouldn't do that. God didn't put Mussolini in power. God did not help Idi Amin to become president of India and for him to do the things that he did to his people. Certainly, God did not make Bokassa, the so-called emperor, president, the Central Republic. God didn't do that. Indeed, the kind God that I know did not put Mugabe in Zimbabwe. God did not make Abacha head of state of Nigeria. I can go on and on and on and on and on. God is a kind God. He's a good God. He likes all of us. He wouldn't make the choice to put certain people who came to make their people suffer and who they were voted for, especially the ones people voted for. God didn't make them president. If you go to Gambia, that man there, God didn't put him there. Human beings, we put the people there. We make decisions. We go, we cast votes for those people. And say, "Mobimba can chama there, Yami no see him. Yami, obohin, dema, emi, abibia meka de Yami wa adum, na adum arensi, mobi, mozembeji, mozambeshe, nenekaka hu, wejuma ye." But God wouldn't put a wicked man or a wicked woman anywhere in the world to be president, prime minister, head of state. Inti me yakadam, yenje ka. Yimpa no odi man penyin odi si ho. Ne yenkan sama wa kan yimpa na akoma. Yenye zo obaka yimpa na akoma no wa to aba ama obi a oboboa. That is what we need to understand. And so let me go back. Chris he says, I'm Chris from the Volta region. I stand for you because of your entrepreneurship mind. I see a real leader in you. Thank you to Chris from Volta. And I have another message from Ibrahim Nai from the northern region. He says, Doctor, on behalf of the people in the northern region, I wish to congratulate you and the entire party for this overwhelming victory. This victory is a victory for all Ghanaians. I agree with you on that score, that it's a victory for all Ghanaians. But we in the northern region are consoling you with a verse in the Quran, which states, when those who disbelieved plotted against you to restrain you or evict you, but they plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. Well, thank you, Ibrahim Nai from the Volta region, from the northern region, Ibrahim Nai. Jordan in Accra says, this is another thing we should be careful with. The EC is up to something this coming election. That's from Jordan in Accra. This time wasting, not giving enough time for campaign, but rather running up and down to make sure things are okay. He says the EC is up to something. Well, we shall see. And Fifi from Aguna Swedru says, Papa Kwesi Indom, you are my man. I will not stop preaching you. Thank you for your messages. I will go and take just another break. And when we come back, I will read to you some of the words, the choice of words from the High Court Judge, His Lordship Eric Che Baffour. Well, let me read to you some of the words of His Lordship Eric Che Baffour, Esquire, Justice of the High Court. You know, the Justice of the High Court, he made some rulings, and he said in those rulings he dealt with what he called the preliminary legal objections made by the Electoral Commission against the case that we filed in court. The respondents, that is the Electoral Commission, said that their preliminary objection raised is to the effect that the applicant has invoked the jurisdiction of the court by the wrong process. By the wrong process. Which means they were seeking to throw the case out by some technicality. By technicality. And this is what the judge said. This is what the judge said. He said that, and I want to read specifically what it is that the judge said. He said, and I'm quoting him, "It is therefore my view that commencing an action by way of petition spelled out in Regulation 9 of CI 94 is when an applicant challenges the grounds of his disqualification on the merits, and not when a disqualified candidate seeks to invoke the supervisory jurisdiction because of a procedural impropriety." So essentially, what the High Court judge was saying is that he would not stand for any procedural matters being raised. And I want you to also listen to what the judge said, and I'm quoting him again. "I think, again, with deep respect, counsel's submission, and when I say counsel's submission, he means counsel for the Electoral Commission. So I'll read it again. I think, again with deep respect, counsel's submission is gravely misconceived. The cases cited by the council, EC's council, deals with the challenge to the validity of an election to Parliament under Section 16 of the Representation of the People's Law, which can only be questioned by a petition. By petition. And so he says he had found, and I'm quoting him again, I have found that approaching the court, as in this case, as the applicant did, is not by way of petition, and the subsequent argument of needing to wait until after elections is a non sequitur. Well, big English, all that the judge said to the Electoral Commission is their case that we should have waited till after the election, essentially, to come and question the Electoral Commission is not correct. It's not correct. That coming the way we did to ask for a judicial review before anything would happen, before the Electoral Commission will start doing anything else, any other preparation towards the presidential election was the right thing to do. Was the right thing to do. And just take note of the words used by the judge, that the EC's counsel submission is gravely misconceived. Gravely misconceived. Now, I want to get to the right words that the judge also used. And I want to go very, very specific. Very, very, very specific. And read. I don't want to read the legal things. But I want to make sure that you listen to the words that were used by the judge himself. The judge himself used, so that everybody will understand what happened there. Now, the judge said, I'm quoting him, "It is therefore clear to me that the day or days that the commission was to receive the nomination papers for the candidates were said to be the 29th and the 30th of September, and that to my mind will satisfy what is nomination day within the contemplation of CI 94. But the nomination period as contemplated was conspicuously not set by the commission. Though the rules clearly affords a candidate to present his nomination papers on or before the nomination day, but it seems that per Exhibit DPKNY, the EC signaled its preparedness to receive nomination papers only on the 29th and 30th of September. The applicant dutifully, in compliance with the directions provided by the second respondent, the Electoral Commission, appears to have presented his forms on the 30th of September, the last of the 2 nomination days set by the Commission for receipt of the nomination papers." And the judge continued, "It is after the receipt of the nomination papers on the nomination day and within the nomination period that respondents were under duty by law to inform the applicant of any anomaly detected on his form. The respondents purporting and proceeding under the erroneous assumption that the 2 days set for the presentation of the nomination papers coincided with the end of the nomination period failed to afford any opportunity to the applicant to amend his form. Granted that even the nomination period ended on the 30th of September 2016, the denial of an opportunity to the applicant to amend his form will be wrong. And if the nomination period did not end 30th September, as I seek to posit supra, that the EC did not set any nomination period, the denial of an opportunity to the applicant is even more fatal and incurably bad, unquote. These are the words of the judge. So I want people to understand that the judge did not use unclear words. Unclear words. He made things very clear. I don't want to go through each and every item here, but you know, it is important. It is important that everybody understands that the judge used all of the right words and really told everybody what this thing was all about. And indeed, what the judge said in many areas were very clear. And let me finally read to you the part. You remember that I asked the Electoral Commission for 5 minutes. After, trying, they finally said, come. I went to the office of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, and she was there with one of the deputy commissioners, Amadou Suli. And then this same meeting that I asked for, which they reluctantly allowed me to go there to just talk. And after a few minutes, it was clear that they were not in any mood. They weren't prepared to listen to anything. Anything that I would say, they would try and argue about it. So we got to a point when they said, okay, thank you very much. And we left. They turned around to go to court, to the High Court, to say that, oh, they had given me a hearing, even though the hearing was after the disqualification. They went and used my asking for a meeting, this few minutes, they went and used it in court against me. That after all, they had given me a hearing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So this is what the judge said. I want to read this to you. These are enough to foreclose that argument. And I'll read through. And I'm reading through the words of the judge. The second troubling claim of the first respondent, and the first respondent being Mrs. Charlotte Osei, is that if it was just a fair hearing the applicant complains of, then he was amply afforded the opportunity to meet with first respondent when he was disqualified. To reduce the denial of fair hearing that the law affords the applicant before a decision is made to disqualify him to the meeting that took place after the disqualification of the applicant is to trivialize the weightier and substantial mandate placed on the shoulders of the returning officer to afford an opportunity to the applicant to amend his nomination paper within the nomination period before a pronouncement was made to disqualify him. This is what the judge said. And the judge continued. What was the usefulness of the meeting if it would not result in applicant having the opportunity to effect the amendment or ensuring the compliance of the first respondents with the law? The meeting of 13th October 2016 cannot be advanced in any way as the meeting the very intentment of the fair hearing that Regulation 9.2 of CI 94 anticipate. The fair opportunity to amend the forms must precede any action to disqualify and not the other way around. I find that submission, again with profound respect to Sorry Esquire, to be gravely pedestrian and peripheral. Unquote. These were the words of the judge. These were the words of the judge. And therefore, the judge followed, and I'm quoting him again. The decision disqualifying the applicant as contained in Exhibit DPKN3 is ordered to be brought for the purposes of having same quashed, and is hereby quashed by the court in the exercise of its supervisory jurisdiction. The judgment, so many pages, 30 pages. This is judgment given by the High Court Judge, His Lordship Eric Che Bafo, Esquire, Justice of the High Court. This is what went on Friday. Friday meaning yesterday morning. I've tried not to get into too many details, but to just let you know that indeed this matter is something that I didn't want to go to court. And I felt that the matter could have been resolved by an administrative procedure. I have nothing whatsoever against Mrs. Charlotte Osei. I don't know her. I only met her on that 13th of October for the few minutes that I was in her office. Nothing against her, nothing personal. She is the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, an important body in Ghana. I just want her to do her job, and if it affects me, I just want her and the rest of the commission to treat me fairly, to follow their law. And I'm just hoping that from here on, we will have a good relationship and to get things done according to the law and according to not just the words on paper, but everybody says that yes, there are laws, but the law also carries with it certain mandates, certain feelings, and so on and so forth, that we must take everything into consideration and make sure that we apply the law in a very fair way. Fairness, that's all I have been asking for. And I was asked to go to court. I went to court, and the courts ruled in my favor. It doesn't make me any enemy to the EC or and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, we have helped, the PPP and myself, we have helped the EC to know the limits of its application of the law. And so we have helped our democracy to move forward. We have helped the practice of law, the application of law by state players to move forward at least a few inches. And I hope what we have also done is to help protect the human rights, the right to freedom of speech, and so on and so forth. We help to protect it for all Ghanaians. Some people have said, the EC did this to you because you went and challenged them in court about the filing fee. That's what some people say. I don't know. Some even have gone to the extent to say that your party, the Progressive People's Party, went to question the circumstances surrounding the death of the late President John Fifi Atta Mills. I don't know. They are claiming that, oh, some people are behind all of this, pushing the Electoral Commission here and there. I don't know. I don't know. All that I am interested in is to have my rights protected, and by extension, the rights of every Ghanaian protected. That's all that we want. That is all that I'm looking for. No malice, nothing. And there's a question. It says, Doctor, you are a kind and gentle, but many affected DKM customers think you are the cause of this whole DKM saga. Please, have you heard of this rumor? If you haven't, what do you say to that now? My friend, how can I be? How can I be a part of the cause of this? As a matter of fact, I have said to those affected by DKM that should I become president of this republic we call Ghana, such things such as the DKM matter will not happen. Will not happen. Because we will enforce the laws of the land to make sure that nobody, first of all, who doesn't have license to perform the duties of either microfinance, savings and loan, or banks, that nobody performs those duties without license. And that those who have been even afforded a license, that we support and encourage the Bank of Ghana to do the right things. So no DKM matter for me. And as a matter of fact also, what I would do is to also encourage the Bank of Ghana and the players in the banking system to put in place a vigorous insurance system to ensure that depositors' money, so that should in case any matter would lead to the collapse of a financial institution that is licensed by law, then the customers wouldn't lose their deposits, such as what is happening with DKM depositors. And here's a promise I can make. President Papa Kwesi Ntom will restore the monies of DKM customers. We need to draw the line somewhere and help people and then enforce the laws from here on. Well, let me read one or two more messages, and then let's call it a day or a night. Someone says, please, why is it that you are focused? Someone has covered up my message. It says, why does it seem as if you are focused in your home region? I don't understand that question. I don't know where that message has gone, but I can assure you that I am not only focused on my home region. My home region is Central Region, but I have invested all over Ghana, in every region. I'm also campaigning for votes in every region vigorously. As a matter of fact, sometime next week, I will be in the northern region, and then I will go to the upper east, and then to upper west, and then come back down south. I'm looking for votes everywhere. And someone says Ekumfi Nanabin. He says he's from Ekumfi Nanabin in the Central Region, that they are happy that the court had ruled in my favor. Let me also say that Olive from Ho says that disqualification of a number of political parties, especially the PPP, is a strategy to wrongfully eliminate the perceived threat it poses to the NDC. Well, that is what some people say. I don't know. That is what some people say. And if my intended disqualification was due to that reason, well, then I feel sorry for whoever may have thought so, because that wouldn't be correct. And indeed, it wouldn't help anybody to disqualify me or anyone for that reason. Wouldn't help anybody. Daniel says Daniel sympathizer Kwamina Moke from Hafasini says, Papa, don't give up. We support you. I came later, but it is not later. I don't know where it says. Is you a wise man over the leader in Ghana here? You are like Nkrumah, a man with wisdom. The EC is doing things against you, but she must be careful. Otherwise, we will take this case to Holland. I don't know what this is all about. But anyway, let me move on. Somebody just wants my contact. Someone says, I have great wisdom or vision. May the God prolong your life. I like the part about God prolong your life, but I want, and I always pray for long life, but long life in good health. In good health. That's important, always. Always. Ifia from Nkranza says, we are happy to hear your promise, and together we support you. Anderson Odami from Accra says, God bless you. We indeed love you. Please keep it up, and we hope for victory in 2016. I want to thank everybody that has sent messages. Indeed, there are several messages that have been sent this evening, and I thank you all for them. Hamza from Tamale also says, it seems like many people also have this idea. It says, it is clear the EC is working to retain the NDC in power by rigging the election, and we Ghanaians are also ready to defend our votes because we learned our lessons in 2012. That is from Hamza in Tamale. Well, let me leave it this way. There's somebody says he's from Atokropo in the Volta region. He says, but we don't have a school over there. Well, there are enough messages, plenty of messages. All of you who have taken the time to send me messages, thank you very much. Thank you for sending them to me. I appreciate it. We've been talking about something that I believe is important. That court case, as I have said over and over and over again, is not a case for me. The victory is not a victory for me. It's a court case for Ghanaians. It is a victory for our democracy. It is something that will help strengthen the Electoral Commission if we all move on together to make amends together, to help the EC, encourage them to apply all of its laws evenly, consistently, and not just at election time. I believe in strong institutions. Let's take the personalities out of the picture, but let's strengthen the institutions and make sure that they rule by the law that has been provided and given to them. And tonight I will say, God bless Ghana. God bless Ghana. This is a special country and a people I believe in. A country and a people that I feel deserve a whole lot more than we are getting today, than we have been getting since independence, and especially in this Fourth Republic. I don't wish this case that I have gone through on anybody. I don't wish it for anyone to be discriminated against, treated this way by any state-sponsored institution, as I believe I have been treated, or I should even say maltreated, by the Electoral Commission. And there are some people who have been sitting there silent, as if it doesn't matter to them. It matters to everybody. Some people had been defending the EC before the ruling, and a few people are still defending the EC after the hearing. Well, they may be sitting somewhere and feeling powerful. But let me tell you, power belongs to the people, in the hands of the people. And eventually, the people's power prevails. Let me leave it there. I thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I want to thank our technical team for helping bring Ghana Great and Strong this evening to you. My name is Papa Kwesi